Hey guys, welcome to Operation Crypto. Let's take a look at Bitcoin and have a look at some levels that we could potentially hit if the market does continue to tumble down. We know the US market's open in a few hours, so that could be another factor for the downward pressure. This mainly due to the Russia and Ukraine, even since the top really, and we've hit those highs. General economic outlook has not been the best. And then couple that with uncertainty of potential war looming, the price has been continuously drop, and then this morning we did get a decent drop. There was a bullish sign out there. I mean, if we go to a daily time frame, we did form that higher low which was there, so that is usually a bullish sign to say that you are starting to build a structure. It was looking like we're going to form a higher low there, but with this candle this morning, it has brought us down. I mean, if we did finish here and start to push up, we probably would still form that higher low, but for now, you are more inclined to think that the price is going to continue to drop. What we need to do, if we just go back to a weekly time frame, is maintain this. It's a type of mainly a bull market trend line, and you can see there are multiple taps: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 taps on that trend line. We've had a few below it, and one thing to note that we have had no closures below that line. So that is an area that we could tap, and that's pretty much at 33,300. If we did lose that, then you got to look at some levels below. One key level that there is below is that previous all-time high, 19,800, with a big fat level down there at 14k, which I don't think it'll hit. And then we've got these bottoms around here. If you can see, multiple wicks within this region. Let's just mark that one up as well. If you look at a wick there, 1, 2 wicks, there's always potential that you could come down and test that 29k region. Personally, I still think we bounce here, and I know we may not, we may just continue to drop down, but if we do lose this level, then you're going to look at some of these major levels of support down here to buy. For me, if it does drop, it is just an opportunity. I mean, short term, you're going to be down in dollars. That's a given, and that's how the market is. But if you manage to flip some altcoins into, or even Bitcoin, if you manage to flip some into USDT or a stable coin, then you're going to have that money there to buy the dip. Personally, me, I'm here for the long run, and I believe in cryptocurrency. And I will just be buying up. I've already started to dollar cost average into some of my favourite alts, given it can drop a lot lower. But if it does, I just take that as an opportunity and keep topping up. So if Bitcoin does lose this region, I'm going to look to start buying Bitcoin at around 29k. I think that'll be a decent level to place some bids. And if we did lose that, you are going to test this 20k region down here. But fingers crossed that does not happen, and we do not get a scenario where we're buying Bitcoin at 20k again. The general macro environment will probably dictate to us what goes on. But for now, this is the trend line that we are watching, and we need to monitor. RSI is now ticking down towards 32%. Last time we did hit in this oversold territory at 20%. We did get a push on our market, and last time we was in that oversold territory, we managed to get a decent rise. If you're looking at a price from there to there, we managed to do a 38% rally, but that's sold off. One thing to note that Bitcoin in the past, whenever we've had bear markets, if you look at the previous high, obviously we've done this major drop to the downside on Bitcoin after creating all-time highs. We went from let's call it 20k, all the way down to 6k, 6k we dropped down to. But then we had a relief rally, which was here. So we had that major drop and a relief rally. Just one thing to note. Oh, by the way, we did continue to drop as well then, and we dropped all the way down to here over the course of the next 2 years. We dropped all the way down to $3,000. So in reality, if you look at that high there to that low, we dropped a massive 84% from very high to very lows. Just looking at the current price structure, we've had what you would seem to be obviously the downward pressure. This could have been the relief rally before that next time that we do start to spiral down. I'm not going to say we're going to drop 84%, but just be wary of those levels where you could drop to if we did get to 84k, 84%. So you're looking down there. I don't think that'll happen. That's down at 10k, 10, 11k. I do not think that will happen. Still think we'll bounce here, but just be wary of that. If we did lose this, you could get that slow trickle down 78% before we did start to rally. Whatever happens, whatever scenario happens, we will pump at some stage and we will resume a bull run. Whether that's tomorrow, whether that's in 6 months' time, 8 months' time, 2 years, you will start to regain that bullish presence. And it's just, like I say, it's a macro environment, it's a global thing, it's across all markets, so it is what it is. For me, like I say, if it does drop lower and just continue to drop, I'll just continue to buy. And I've managed to, over the last 8 to 9 months, take a fair old chunk off the table. Plenty of assets there in terms of stable assets to keep buying up. So that's what I'll be considering doing over the next few months or days or whatever happens. In a bullish scenario, I mean, we could bounce. I mean, it doesn't look like it, and it just looks horrific. And I think to regain any type of bullish narrative, we need to bounce on here and still create that higher low. If we did that, we would then have to get over that 42k resistance, which has been a key area in the past. I mean, if you look here, it was a major support area, support here before we then dropped to the downside, support there. You can see it's a key fundamental area, that 42k region. We need to regain that fairly sharpish, because if we don't and lose this line here, it's going to look bad. So hopefully we create another higher low here, even though it's not the best, it's still a higher low. Go up here and potentially get up towards that 52k region. Two areas of major resistance are there. You've got 41, well, let's call it 42k, and then we've got 52k. That's a long way off. You're talking from here to get to 42k, we need to jump up 22%, and then also to get to that 52k region, we need to jump up 52%. So that's some major levels that we need to regain to reform any bullish price structure. But we are just there or thereabouts. It's like it is hanging on a knife edge here. We're closer to this level and closer to a lot more bearish price action to come. But sometimes things can go the opposite way to what's going on in the markets. In the past, for example, when we had that COVID, well, when COVID pretty much first got announced, the markets did die off. But then we had that initial lockdown. All the markets died in March of 2020. They took a drastic hit. But ever since then, the markets did start to rally. If you look at that was here, in fact, March 11, 2020. We hit those highs up here in July, and then we did continue to go down. Then COVID lockdown got announced. We dropped. We did quite a significant candle there. I mean, if you look at the, let's just look at that candle there, for example. We did a 53% candle. And then we managed to form a little bit of a bottom, and then we started to rise and started to regain market structure. I'm not saying that's going to happen again, but that's a scenario. We could have a death wick down to the downside. We could form a base and then start pushing up. Ultimately, that is going to happen at some stage. It might not happen now. We could get a wick down here, and then a small rise. We could get a wick here and small rise. It's just wherever it rises. It's going to rise at some point. It's just picking that area to be happy with the investments. And for me, I'm happy DCAing from this current price. If I buy it 33k, if I buy it 10k, I'm not bothered, because ultimately it's going to go up at some stage. So that's my thoughts on Bitcoin. Stay safe out there. Fingers crossed this doesn't escalate into global conflicts, and it does get sorted out fairly quick, because we do not want war. There's no need for it at all. So let's pray it all goes all well.